how you choose pharma? Was it or like you wanted
No.
to always do pharma or?
No, never. I never wanted to become a pharmacist. I was passionate about driving, so I wanted to become a driver. We used to be very fascinated, me and my younger brother,
Okay.
seeing we call in Maharashtra ST bus,
Okay.
the red ST bus.
So you wanted to become ST driver?
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to become that because these guys, they get a lot of opportunity
Right.
to travel different places.
Correct.
And a thrill of driving, such a large vehicle. So we were so fascinated.
And
My brother,
everyone stay away from that.
absolutely. So,
In terms of science,
yeah,
is it really possible that environment has no microbiology?
it is very difficult.
Yeah.
It is extremely difficult. On the last page, I saw an advertisement of PharmaPlan.
Oh, okay.
PharmaPlan was German engineering company,
Yeah, yeah.
exclusively setting up pharmaceutical facilities and so on. And it had offices in multiple places.
When you say in isolator, like I heard that if you have a airflow coming in and if that airflow directly goes on the wire, so that is also non-compliant.
No, actually, that's not the right understanding.
But engineering may consider that air which is coming in is already you are getting through the filter. How it is contaminating the wire.
Right.
So-
Okay. The most difficult product to make, a pharmaceutical product, is actually a tablet.
Yeah.
From the technology point of view.
Wow. Okay. Now I understood the
Yeah.
difference. Like why injectables plants become so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
In India, we are still developing that part, right? Are we that advanced compared to Europe? and
Yes,
US?
we are. We have one of the best facilities in the world.
You like bikes or cars?
I like cars,
Okay.
but that time we could not afford, car.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had a bike.
So what would you be doing if not a pharmacist? So welcome to the new episode of Pharma Now, and this episode is of course dedicated for Microbiology Matters. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, our true friend and a mentor, and a very well-known personality, frankly, in sterility assurance area. So we have Manish Bhatkar sir. Uh, a formal introduction. Of course, I usually don't do this formal introduction, but formal introduction of Manish sir is he's a founder CEO of RedLotus Pharmtech Private Limited, a company dedicated for consulting and advisory for various audits and for sterility assurance. I think sir is known as a stalwart in the area of sterility assurance. He keep himself so low. I'm working with him from last, I think, couple of months. sir.
Couple of
I think,
months,
yeah.
yes.
So
Yeah.
we are knowing each other from last couple of months, and I'm really inspired the way you work, your thoughts are. So it's really honor basically to get you on this podcast. I know it's difficult to take a hold of you, right? But great. Thanks a lot, sir, for coming to our show. And frankly, you are an integral part of Pharma now. So it's like homecoming.
So thank you very much for such a lovely introduction. And yes, we are working for past couple of months together. But you have known me so much in such a small duration. Although we are working for past 6 months, but we may have interacted only hardly for say 10, 20 hours.
Three
or so.
time in your office.
Yeah, 10 or 20 hours maybe.
Yeah.
30, 40 hours maximum,
Maybe on
perhaps.
calls and
On calls and others, But we have developed, that level of relationship.
Yeah.
So it feels very good. You invited me. Podcast is something which is new for me and never heard. A couple of months ago, only my daughter told me there is something like podcast, as we discussed in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, good. Okay. So
So I think now
thanks for calling me here.
Then now we can show it to your daughter.
She'll be very happy.
Finally, we have done
Yes,
podcast.
yes. She'll be very happy. She'll be very happy.
Sure, certainly, that's great.
Yeah.
Sir, I think let's start with your career journey.
Okay.
Because we wanted to really talk on so many topics.
Yeah.
But let's start with your career, because I think people are not, I think, so much aware about so many positions you hold. Today you might be a consultant, advisor, but so many positions, so many different experience across the world. So let's start from the start, from the
Okay.
beginning.
So I finished my post graduation in pharmacy with a specialization in pharmacology in 1992.
Pharmacology,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the
I thought
year
you started in microbiology.
no. Microbiology. Then I studied microbiology
Okay.
in the as part of my curriculum in pharmacy.
Correct.
But that was only a small part
Right.
of the entire curriculum. So I finished my MPharm 1992 from the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Nagpur University.
Nagpur, yeah.
Yeah, a pioneering institute.
Yeah.
Initial days, 70s, 80s, there were only 3 pharmacy colleges
Correct.
in the country. And first was BHU, second was Nagpur University, and third was Sagar. So they are the prominent.
And I think Sagar and all 3 universities are still considered
Absolutely,
as
they are considered as the best still.
one. Yeah.
So I finished my MPharm from there in 1992.
Sorry, I'm stopping you here. I just wanted to go bit
Before?
early.
Okay.
Yeah, well, like how you choose pharma? Was it or like you wanted
No.
to always do pharma or?
No, never. I never wanted to become a pharmacist.
Why all leaders have
yeah,
same
I'll
thing,
tell you. I'll tell you the story. So I wanted to become a medical doctor.
Okay. Still closer.
Yes. So my mother is a medical professional. She was a public health nurse in the Ordnance Factory hospitals.
Okay.
And I used to go with her in the hospitals.
Right.
And I found that doctors get the maximum respect.
yeah.
Everybody comes in their office and they would, bow down to the doctor. It's kind of a revered figure.
Correct.
So I thought, probably I should become a doctor. Sometimes I used to see some people, they come with, suit coat, suit ties. They would sit with the doctor and they will teach doctor. So that was more fascinating.
MR people, yeah?
Yes. So I used to ask my mother that who are these guys? And she would say they are medical representatives.
Okay.
I thought, okay, fine. So I knew only 2 people which I would become eventually, either a doctor or a medical representative.
MR, okay.
Yeah, but that was not a kind of passion, but it was a respect which I could see they command.
Yes, yes.
But I was passionate about driving, so I wanted to become a driver eventually, right? So and we used to be very fascinated, me and my younger brother,
Okay.
seeing a we call in Maharashtra ST bus,
Okay.
the red ST bus.
So you wanted to become ST driver?
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to become that because these guys, they get a lot of opportunity
Right.
to travel different places.
Correct.
And a thrill of driving, such a large vehicle. So we were so fascinated.
And,
that
and
my brother,
everyone stay away from them.
absolutely. So, so my passion was me and my younger brother. They would always play, at home. I would be driver, he would be a conductor, or he would be a driver and I would be a conductor, and so on. So we always
I
dreamt
can,
of.
I can correlate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was my passion. So wanted to become a driver.
Yeah.
But from the position point of view, I thought doctor gets the maximum respect. So as a profession, and then eventually we understood
Yeah.
there is something like profession and passion. So okay, passionately I'll become a driver, and professionally I would become a doctor.
That passion still
That was,
exists?
yes. Driving, yes,
Yeah?
still, yeah. I'm. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, okay.
So, uh, and then I saw another character in the hospital, which is a pharmacist. No, it used to be a government hospital where my mother used to work. And pharmacist, I would say that one guy is sitting behind a window,
Huh.
and he would dispense medicines,
Medicines, yeah.
and he had only 3 tablets. One
Correct.
is white, another is pink, and third is yellow. He would pack, these in different packets and would hand over to the patients. And I asked my mother that who is this guy, and she said pharmacist. So I never wanted to become that. So so what happened that eventually when we were studying, we were in 12th.
Correct.
At that point in time, there were no competitive exams
Correct.
like NEET or
Agreed.
JEE used to be there, but for medical
So this
entrance,
time is 90s.
90s, yes, 90s and 80s.
80s, sorry. Yeah, 80s.
So um, you would be qualified if you get into the merit list of the individual colleges.
Correct.
And if you now the admissions are centralized,
Correct.
but then if you want to go in a medical college, you need to apply in a medical college.
Correct.
Another medical college. So you apply in 10 colleges,
Correct.
and you might get selected in 1 or 2. So I applied in 2 medical colleges in Nagpur, and I didn't get admission in any one of them. So then heartbreak, हो नहीं सकता. So then my mother said, "Don't worry, you become a pharmacist." And I said, "No, I don't want to
गोली देने
dispense
वाला.
3 tablets. I don't want to spend my entire life in dispensing only 3 color tablets."
Yeah.
And she said, "No, that's not the only job which pharmacist does.
Yeah.
Do you see those guys, who come in tie and suit? So you can become that." And I said, "Okay, fine, let's do it."
That seems to be a good role.
That seems to be a good role. But otherwise, my another passion is, I would say my hobby, not passion, is electronics. So I thought probably if I get admission any engineering college for electronics, so perhaps I would become an engineer.
Correct.
But I didn't get admission in electronics.
Okay.
I got admission in civil engineering.
Okay.
So which I didn't like, and so that's why I said no, engineering not. But my father was an engineer, so he thought my son should also become engineer.
Yeah.
But I was very scared of mathematics and so on. I thought probably I can make mathematics my enemy if I get into electronics.
Okay.
But I didn't get there. So eventually, my mother convinced me to take admission in the pharmacy college.
Correct.
And because I was falling only short with half a mark or 1 mark or something, so I very easily got admission into the pharmacy college. Because what happens at that point in time, if people would not get admission in medical, they would opt for dental, and then subsequently the pharmacy and so on. So I very easily got there.
Correct.
And then my journey started as a pharmacist. First year started in, I think it was 1982. No,
Okay.
sorry, 1986.
Okay.
So 1986 to 1990, 4 years course, it used to be B.Pharm, that's undergraduate course. And then you appear for an entrance exam called as that time GATE. Now it is called as GPAT.
Correct.
So you need to qualify the gate exam that used to be conducted by IITs. Any of the IITs every year they would rotate, and so you qualify the gate exam and you get admission for the post graduation course. So I could qualify and did the post graduation in pharmacology.
Yeah.
That was the year 1992, and from there my professional
Pharma
journey started.
Yeah.
So through the campus, I got placed in a company here itself in Ahmedabad.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
That was called as Core Parentals.
Acha.
So very pioneering company and very fast growing company at that point in time. Those were the people who brought form fill seal technology for the first time in India.
Okay.
Romlag is the Swiss company
Yeah.
from where they bought this machine, and it was a wonder at that point in time. And I was so fascinated to see that machine working. It used to make 4 bottles in a minute. So maybe such a huge capacity at that point in time,
correct.
speed of the machine and so on. So, but somehow I did not like because I was always a kind of day scholar, never lived in a hostel also. So that was something which was very new for me, and I was not very happy living so far away from my family.
And that time Ahmedabad was a very small town.
It was a reasonable, I mean, not
Yeah.
such a big, kind of city what we see today.
Correct.
So, and then in the meantime, we also applied, into the other companies.
Correct.
And I got an offer from Lupin. They were setting up a new facility in Mandideep. This is near Bhopal. So I took that. I left this place, went to Lupin, and there that was my first organization, I would say, in real sense, because this was only 2 months and we were just in the training phase at that point in time. And there I started working in the in their sterile dosage form manufacturing facility. And then also worked in various different functions. They started OSD, then I was involved there also, and so on. So 1992 to 1999, I worked with Lupin, their Mandideep plant. In the production I started of sterile products, and then in the packaging, then in the technical services, the validations and projects. Lot many areas, in those around 7.5, 8 years, and so on. But that was the basic foundation of my career and the liking which developed for the aseptic processing at that point in time.
Okay. So basically, your first role basically gives you exposure to the aseptic processes.
And I consider myself lucky that I was at right place at right time. Because in 90s, before 90s, Indian companies, there were not many Indian companies, pharma companies. There may be, small little companies and so on, but our country was dependent upon the MNCs.
Correct.
Either they importing the products or they are manufacturing, simple products in India.
Correct.
So government was also trying to, promote the domestic companies, and some companies, progressive companies, they were looking at the export potential. And Lupin is the first company which has got to its credit, their first facilities approved by Europe. We say MHRA, that time it used to be called as MCA.
Okay.
Yeah, and US FDA and so on. So we got to learn, got this opportunity to learn about the regulations and so on. So I worked for about 7.5, 8 years there.
Correct.
And at that point in time, there was no QA function as such.
Correct.
So we were on. There used to be a production and quality control. only two departments.
And if I'm not wrong, Lupin was the first company who introduced sterile environments.
Yes, at that point in time. No, there were many companies like
Okay.
Ranbaxy and others, but the sterile facility with the modern outlook
Correct.
and the setup which will qualify for the US and European standards. Lupin was the first company.
Correct.
There used to be a tough competition between Lupin and Ranbaxy
Ranbaxy
at that point in time.
Yeah. I think Ranbaxy was the top one that time.
There used to be number one and
Always,
number two,
okay.
like Ranbaxy,
Okay.
and both were below 500 CR at
Correct.
that point in time.
Correct.
I still remember in I think 96 or 97, there was a big kind of celebration for crossing 500 CR benchmark at that point in time. So after spending some time, I thought QA is something where I should now venture.
Correct.
I should try to get into quality assurance.
Correct.
And I got an opportunity with Ranbaxy to become part of their corporate quality assurance, which was located in Gurgaon at that point in time. So I got the opportunity, so I took it, and so I moved to Ranbaxy. But I spent only 10 months there. And I thought probably I am too young to get into the corporate quality assurance role. Because you are sitting in, very modern glass chambers, like, corporate offices.
Yeah.
And I was missing that touch of, machines and people who were working actually on the shop floor. And I thought like, this is kind of job which I may like at the stage of my retirement and so on. So at least, I should have some experience and then I should be coming here.
Interesting.
So I worked for about 10 months and I told my boss one day that I'm not liking this job. My job was to go and audit the facilities, the sterile facilities, because I brought with me sterility assurance, kind of experience.
Correct.
So he said, fine, if you want, you can get a transfer in a manufacturing facility and so on.
Okay.
But in the meantime, what happened, that ISP started, I got introduced to ISP at that point in time.
Okay.
And there used to be, still they publish, a magazine which is periodical, which is called as Pharmaceutical Engineering.
Yeah.
So Ranbaxy had a very nice library. I used to go there and started reading, that Pharmaceutical Engineering magazine. It was very interesting to read that. And I thought probably I should get into somewhere in pharmaceutical engineering aspect.
So I think it will connect your
So
dots
what
with
happened
electronics
once?
engineering.
So once what happened, that on the last page, I saw an advertisement of PharmaPlan. PharmaPlan was German engineering company, exclusively setting up pharmaceutical facilities and so on. And it had offices in multiple places. Delhi was one of them.
Okay.
There was a number provided there, so I called their office from the same library there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was, I think it was Friday or something. And I said, can I come and meet you tomorrow? They said yes. Perhaps they thought I want to come there to discuss some project or something.
Okay.
So I went there on Saturday and I told them, like, I'm looking for a job. If there is any job in your organization, because I don't know how I will contribute. If you know something that you can utilize me in your company, so then I don't mind, coming. And coincidentally, they were thinking about, setting up of a validation and a GMP compliance division.
Okay.
And they said, okay, we have plans, but this is what it is. And we don't know how and what it will become, how it should, because we are all engineers.
Correct.
And the MD of that company was a medical doctor, actually. Dr. Singhal.
So run by doctor, having engineers, and now hiring pharmacists.
Absolutely. So, so I said, okay, fine. he said, we are starting, and if you are willing, so perhaps we can offer you a job.
Correct.
But we cannot give you even a single rupee raise. And I
A
said,
raise, okay.
"Oh,
But
okay."
they are going to give you salary.
Yes,
Okay.
salary would be given.
Okay.
And so I went to this office with my younger brother.
Okay.
And he said कि दादा ये कुछ ठीक नहीं लग रहा, मतलब you are in such a large corporation, this is kind of, they have an office in a garage, and पता नहीं यहाँ salary मिलेगा कि नहीं, so I don't feel right.
Correct.
So I said कि okay, if I get something, this is the area which I like working, so let us take this chance. Risk taking.
Right.
कुछ महीने नहीं चलेगा तो ठीक है, I can go back, walk back to the industry.
Correct.
And I think that was the most wisest decision, I would say, because I got so many opportunities to work with so many different companies, and because our team would take me as a GMP expert.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and I have nobody else to kind of connect. So I'll have to depend on my own knowledge.
Right.
So I started reading a lot and so on about any topic wherever they would take me as that expert. And that helped me in two ways. One is developing that confidence, talking to people, meeting them, presentations, and then reading a lot, understanding various different subjects and so on, because you are already introduced there as an expert, so you have to behave like an expert,
exactly.
and look like an expert, right?
Exactly. You need to hold that position.
Yeah. And so I spent about 5 years.
And now you are the only pharmacist now in that whole engineering company.
Absolutely. But what happened, that we would, because that is a pharmaceutical engineering company,
right,
so eventually it was established like a process that when you receive an inquiry, so pharmacy, this GMP department would design the concept.
Correct.
That would be handed over to engineers, and they would do the further detailing and so on onto it. And that became a process, and which is still a process in the PharmaPlan. And then subsequently, when you establish the facility, validating and helping them, writing dossiers and all sorts of work which is related to pharmacy and so on. But in that process, I got to learn a lot of engineering also. So I spent about 5 years, and then during that period, we worked on a very innovative kind of project at that point in time, which had isolation technology and so on, which was still under discussion at that point in time. And in fact, with a very large Indian corporation called Dabur Pharma, we made their oncology facility with 100% containment by using domestic isolators and so on. And during that period, I got an opportunity to work with Dr. Burman, who was the chairman of Dabur Pharma at that point in time.
That time.
Later on, Dabur offered me a position. So after spending about 5 years in PharmaPlan, 2004, I joined Dabur. And I joined Dabur in their corporate quality function. But within 2 or 3 months, I was sent to UK. Yeah, because they had one manufacturing facility there, and which was not doing good. So Dr. Burman suggested that I should go there, at least first see what are the issues and suggest what can be done to make it operational. So I went there for about initially 3 months. Came back, gave him a report and suggested, like, yes, technology is old and very fragmented. Although they were using isolators at that point in time. Very initial days, I think there were hardly few companies which India, forget about India, but in Europe also. So, and those were kind of bits and pieces of isolators. You bring isolator 1, isolator 2 in feed, the sterile components into the filling line, and attach another isolator and the outfeed, collect the material, and then process the further external washing and
Right.
whatever it is. So I went there as then subsequently I provided my report, gave some recommendations. I went there as their site quality
Right.
manager,
Huh.
and within let's say 6 months
Yeah.
was promoted to production manager and then to the site head
Oh wow.
eventually.
Very fast journey.
Very
But
fast.
interestingly, have you observed your journey was always upward?
Yes, always.
First Nagpur,
Yeah.
then Ahmedabad, then you move to Bhopal,
Yeah,
if I'm not
Bhopal.
wrong, and
Then
then
Gurgaon.
once again Gurgaon, Delhi, and now directly UK.
UK, yes.
Interesting.
So, right. So then we faced, first PI FDA inspection there, got the
Okay.
facility approved despite of all technical challenges
Correct.
that company had because of the initial days of, that isolation technology and so on.
Correct.
Right. So I spent, around 5 years there, 6 years actually
In UK.
in UK.
Yeah.
And then there was an opportunity in India that my first boss, when I joined Dabur, who was the head of corporate quality, so he had left. And then my mentor, about him, Mr. Shyam Khante.
Yeah, of course.
So he suggested that why are you looking for a person replacement outside?
Huh.
Why don't you give this responsibility to Manish?
Correct.
He has already proven himself and he can prove himself here as well.
Correct.
So I came back to India
Okay.
as the global quality head that company and continued working in that position from the corporate office in Saibabad near Delhi for about 2 years, and when the company was acquired by Fresenius Kabi.
Okay.
Subsequently things changed. Then I moved in say 2009, around December 2009, to Lupin again.
Again Lupin.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this
Circle
time in
complete.
corporate.
Correct.
And my job mainly was different, not on the shop floor or not in quality assurance, but that was primarily working with the business development group.
Oh really?
And yeah,
Okay.
so the job was created. In fact, my salary was shared between two business units actually.
Okay.
So as a shared resource.
Okay.
This was particularly during that period. Lupin had very aggressive growth plans, and they wanted to, grow fast in short duration. So by inorganic, route.
Correct.
So they wanted to acquire lots of
So merger and acquisition.
mergers and
Yeah.
acquisitions. So my job was to work with the business development group.
Okay.
They would identify the targets. I would do the due diligence
Due
activity.
diligence and everything. Okay.
And based on my assessment, I would give the inputs
But right.
to the management team that we should go or we should not go
Correct.
with detailed assessment.
Correct. Got it.
And in that process, I got an opportunity to work with lots of travel so many countries and work with very wonderful people, meet a lot of people across different geographies and countries and so on. And in that process, we acquired a couple of products, brands, processes, and two major acquisitions. One in Brazil and another in Japan.
Okay.
So the biggest learning which I got is understanding the highest quality level expectations or requirements from Japan.
Japan,
as such,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
So that was the biggest learning. So spent about 4 years there, and
So you were in Japan for 4 years now.
no. I was in
Okay.
India,
Lupin, but
Lupin
okay.
corporate
Got it.
office.
Yeah.
But so I was in between my boss, who was the head of operations,
Correct.
global head of operations, and international operations. So between international operations, so I would be the person, right?
Right. Got it.
So I spent about 4 years there, and then I got a very nice offer with a huge raise, which I could not say no, from Zydus Cadila, and from that was similar position, which I did in Dabur. So they had also acquired one facility in US
Okay.
near a place called St. Louis in the state of Missouri,
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
So so they wanted to wanted that I should go there and try to that facility was under consent decree and so on. So
Okay. Okay.
joined that company. I went there. I never wanted to go
So you
there
went to
actually.
US now.
Yes, but I spent about 2 years in
Okay.
US, and then what happened that my family was in India and I was in US, so becoming a little bit difficult.
But yeah.
So, and then they were kind of forcing that I should relocate permanently with the family into the US, which my family did not wanted.
Okay.
They, with great trouble, my children got adjusted here in the Indian, um, school environment. So
So your family was in now that time
in Mumbai
in
at
Mumbai.
that point in
Okay.
time, yeah. So at that point in time, I decided that a lot of traveling has happened, and I have seen almost everything, more than 50 countries, so much travel, lived in UK, and so on. So let me start. I don't want to do this anymore. I was fed up with a lot of traveling and so on. So I set up my company, but could not gather a courage in 2013. The
Okay.
same
13.
company,
Okay.
RedLotus Pharmtech.
Oh, you founded that in 2013.
13, yeah.
Okay.
But then I came back and I thought कि पता नहीं कैसे चलेगा कि नहीं, कोई business का background नहीं है.
Right.
So, and then so many years out of country, you lost, connect.
Correct.
So I thought, okay, let us do one thing. Continue working for about 3 years.
Correct.
That's how I joined Dr. Reddy's.
Okay.
And that was my last employer. And from 2000.
And I think you were at senior director position if I'm
Yes,
not wrong.
yes, yes. So 2013 I joined, and in 16, then about 3 years I worked there. In 16 I permanently left.
Okay.
August 2016 I started full time working with my own company,
RedLotus.
RedLotus Pharmtech Private Limited, and since then now next year it will be 10 years will complete as
Wow.
in the
Congratulations.
RedLotus Pharmtech. Yeah, thank you.
So tell me more about RedLotus. What you exactly do? Of course, consulting advisory, I understand, but
Yeah. So in RedLotus we do three specific kind of activities.
correct.
Number one is pure consulting.
Okay.
So
Consulting
in
in
this
terms
case,
of?
yeah, consulting includes like giving advisory on various different issues related to quality or operations or whatever it is. And our primary engagement usually is with respect to helping our clients in companies in writing responses, understanding the regulatory GMP compliance issues, and helping them with remediation activities. That is the first important
Got it.
kind of.
Yeah.
Second activity that we do is we call it as technical services, and in these cases we help companies understand technical problems. For example, they have issues with respect to say some technology, and they want our help in terms of selecting a right technology, or designing or helping them improve the existing things, whatever. So troubleshooting, failure investigations, and so on. So that is the next area.
Right.
And third area is engineering. So where we help companies, design their new manufacturing facilities, select, right equipment process, and so on. So these are the three areas. So now going forward, we are venturing into the development of very specific custom designed softwares for our clients, and also in the area of HR, human resource development, primarily training and other areas.
Correct. Correct. Wow. Wonderful. And best wishes for your
Yeah,
next
thank you.
ventures as well, and a 10th anniversary, right? So, Manish sir, I think you have a big expertise in sterility assurance area. So, before going into that expertise, I really wanted to understand what this sterility assurance is all about.
Okay.
Maybe in layman's language.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let me explain like this. Medicine comes in different forms,
Correct.
right? You may have seen like, tablets. You would
Yeah.
have consumed also.
Correct.
Tablets, capsules, some
Correct.
liquids,
Correct.
syrups, ointment, paste, whatever it
Correct.
is.
Correct. Right.
And there are injectables.
Correct.
And they are classified into two specific categories. One is called as, parentals, sorry, enteral products. That means anything which is taken by the route of mouth.
Okay.
And others are parenterals. That means other than the enteral route. So it can include, ointments also. It can include nasal sprays or whatever it is, and the injectables. So parenterals are alternatively also called as, injectables and so on.
Okay.
But not necessarily all parentals are injectables.
Injectables. Yeah.
So, but injectables are parentals.
Correct. Got it.
So injectables have a very specific requirement, and which is the very primary requirement of a sterile product, that it has to be sterile. And sterile means free from any live organisms and so on. And the requirement of sterility is absolute. That means it is either sterile, a product is either sterile or non-sterile. You
Okay.
cannot say 99.9% sterile,
Correct.
right?
So black and white.
Yes. It is yes or no kind of thing. And then because of the nature of sterility, I mean, when you have any contamination with any life form, for example, a bacteria or a fungi, or so in that case, the contamination, whether it is, we have bacterias and all, around us, whether they are some of them are friendly, some of them are, non-friendly. But even if any kind of bacteria contamination is considered as, absolute no, right?
Correct. Correct.
Contamination can happen from many areas and so on. And microbial contamination is a probabilistic event.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have hundreds of bacteria here,
Right.
but not necessarily you get, a contamination, or otherwise you have very few, but there are chances that
yeah.
the product get contaminated and so on.
Correct.
So there is a test for sterility, which is for the compliance purpose, just to test that, product is free from organisms.
Okay.
But it has got lots of limitations, and that's why that sterility test is primarily for, the compliance purpose.
So it happens on what? It happens on the medicine or?
Yeah, it happens on the medicine. I mean, you collect couple of samples, and then it's a destructive test, and then you find out whether, the that sample has any contamination or not.
Okay, so it's a destructive test.
Yes, destructive test. So sterility is the only quality attribute which cannot be tested.
Okay.
It has to be assured. And that is the reason why this terminology of sterility assurance has come into effect, come in picture, right? So, and then, it gives you, when you say sterility assurance, so what is the level of sterility assurance? Very common terminology, which is called as, sterility assurance level, SAL, commonly called as.
Okay.
So, which is a measure of how sure you are about the sterility.
Okay.
Right? So
it is
normally
in particular range or something?
Yes, there are different manufacturing technologies. Sterile product is manufactured by using two technologies. One is called as the terminal sterilization. That means you manufacture, and then at the end of the process, the terminal end of the process, you sterilize the product. So by any chance, if there is any contamination into it, it would get killed.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
And the other technology is like, certain products which cannot withstand the heat. You cannot, obviously, you cannot, heat them, or you cannot, pass them through irradiation and so on.
Correct.
So you would make those products in completely aseptic conditions.
Okay.
That means conditions in which there are no, organisms and no microorganisms and so on.
Okay.
So aseptic processing technology is
So in
extremely
terms of
difficult.
science,
Yeah.
is it really possible that ki environment has no microorganism?
It is very difficult.
Yeah.
It is extremely difficult, but theoretically it is possible.
Okay.
Like, if I have a room which is completely sterilized by, let's say, some sterilizing
Let's say
agent and so
VHP
on,
or yeah.
and then I have a control on the air circulation. So
Okay.
perhaps theoretically, it would remain sterile. The entire air inside would remain sterile.
Correct.
I mean, I'm not allowing anything to
Come
leak
inside
into.
without
Yeah,
filtered. Yeah.
absolutely. So theoretically, it is possible.
Yeah.
But practically, what happens that you have people working in, and you
Those
cannot.
environment,
It
yeah.
is extremely difficult to have something which is completely leak proof and so on. So that's
Correct.
why chances of contamination would be there, and humans are the biggest source of contamination.
Correct.
We continuously keep shedding millions of
Shedding.
particles per, and on our skin we have lots of organisms,
Correct.
bacteria and fungi and so on of all sorts.
Correct.
So they can contaminate the area, and if area is contaminated, your product can get contaminated.
Correct.
So
Is
that
there-
level
is
of
there-
assurance.
So is there any allowance basically where this much of microorganisms are allowed?
No,
Okay.
there is no allowance. Sterility, I told you, sterility, as I mentioned, sterility is a absolute term. It is sterile or not sterile.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
But assurance, like, they call a sterility assurance level. Let's say a product which is terminally sterilized. So we can say that there is a probability of getting a non-sterile unit in terms of, let's say, 1 in a million or 1 in a billion and so on.
Okay.
So that is the probability of. So you are making a product by using aseptic processing technology. So it has got a sterility assurance level of. It should meet a sterility assurance level of 1 in 10,000 and
Okay,
so on.
okay.
10 to the power of -3 or 10 to the power of -6 if it is kind of terminal sterilization, not up to the high extent, not a overkill process.
Correct.
So then -6 and -12 and so on. Yeah.
It goes up to -12.
Yes,
Also.
that is a overkill approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are like class 1 kind of environment in clean rooms.
No, not class 1. That is not required for pharmaceutical sterile product manufacturing. Probably it is required in electronics.
In fabrications.
Yeah,
Yeah,
electronics.
semiconductor fab.
Yeah, right. But class 100 is the highest level of hygiene level in the manufacturing of sterile products.
Okay. So what are the biggest challenges? Of course, you highlighted about human is the biggest challenge. But how you handle those? Like we talk about man, machine, material, all three part.
Yeah.
So how you handle those?
As I mentioned, the most contaminated thing is humans. And the limitation is you
And
cannot
air
sterilize
also?
them.
And air also?
No, air is comparatively easy to control.
Control, okay.
Because you can pass the air through the filters,
Various
and
filters,
filters can retain, the particulates.
Correct.
So there are filters, they are called as, HEPA filters,
Yeah, exactly.
or ALPA filters and
Right,
so on. So which are high efficiency particulate air filters.
Correct.
So which can retain, particles, very small size, like, 0.1 micrometer in the size.
Correct.
And they have to qualify as per the requirements. So, for example, the measure for the clean rooms is particles which are equal to or higher than 0.5 micrometer and 5 micrometers.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the main measure. That's the primary measure of the cleanliness.
So basically, if I understand, your job is basically to help organization to maintain that sterile environment.
Absolutely. So sterility assurance expert is like, you have multiple sources of contamination. So understand that what are the risks and accordingly suggest them, like, what risk mitigation measures they can take to avoid, contamination to
So
their manufacturing
you
process.
analyze each and every element, right from the human to machine to
Yeah.
air to water.
Absolutely.
every
Absolutely.
element.
Absolutely. Anything, everything which comes into your facility
Huh.
is a source of contamination.
Correct.
It can be carried,
Correct.
inside your most aseptic core.
Correct.
Then people and the air and the machines and the way you handle
Can you tell
sanitizing.
me the most difficult assignment you ever had in maintaining this like sterility?
Um, in my Dabur UK facility,
Huh.
I will not say maintaining sterility, but getting it approved
Okay.
from the FDA.
Okay.
Because these were, as I told you, very initial days of isolation technology.
Correct.
And we had a filling machine which was in an isolator,
Okay.
but the isolator had no laminar airflows.
Okay.
Although they had HEPA filters, but there are no laminar airflow
Correct.
filters and so on.
Got it.
So you had only 2 filters in the entire isolator.
Yeah.
It would pump air, but laminarity would not be maintained, and it would become turbulent flow.
Correct.
So what happens that as per any regulations which were applicable then also, the manufacturing area where you are exposing the product and the primary packaging materials, it should be in grade A,
Okay. Right.
right?
Right.
So grade A means you must maintain laminarity in that grade and achieve the microbiological and particle control levels. So, and the difference between that grade A and if you are manufacturing, by using a conventional method, so the surrounding area of grade A should be grade B, and there is not much difference
Got it.
in terms of their microbial limits, and not much difference. But the only difference would be that's the area which is surrounding the grade A area, and people would stand there.
So it's like a protecting grade A area.
Absolutely. So it's like if you see onion,
Yeah.
it has got multiple layers.
Yeah, it's a
so
good analogy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So manufacturing facility of a sterile products is exactly made like that.
Correct.
The central part is the grade A area where you actually have the real exposure of the product and primary containers into the environment and so on.
Correct.
So the grade B and A difference is a little bit difference in terms of very small difference in terms of microbial limits, but grade B need not be laminar. So in practical sense, the regulator would interpret the area inside that isolator as grade B, and that was the biggest challenge to get it approved from the FDA.
Okay.
Because as we discussed,
As there is no laminar
yesterday,
airflow.
if you recall, yesterday in our conference we talked about laminar airflows and airflow visualization. So which is required only for that area. But imagine the area I am filling the product, and there is no laminarity. So how would you demonstrate that there is a laminarity into that area? But we convinced FDA with our data and with all our science that yes, we agree that there is no grade A. Actually, there is grade A, but there is no laminarity. So although we have a turbulent airflow, but we still can achieve the same level of sterility assurance.
Okay. Okay.
So
able to convince them.
Yes, we convinced them. We had multiple rounds of meeting with them. We shared a lot of information, data. They challenged us, and they asked for a lot of data and so on. We explained it to them.
Correct.
And then eventually, after a struggle of around 3-4 months, and we could finally get approval for that particular site.
Correct. But I have a stupid question. It might sounds like a stupid. So when you say in isolator, like I heard that if you have a airflow coming in, and if that airflow directly goes on the vial, so that is also non-compliant.
No, actually, that's not the right understanding.
Okay.
I would say.
So that's why I said it might be stupid.
Yeah, right.
But engineering may consider that air which is coming in is already you are getting through the filter, then how it is impacting vial and how it is contaminating the vial.
Right.
So,
Okay. So you have HEPA filters,
yeah,
and the air is like, HEPA filters are these HEPA filters, which
Correct.
are which will provide you, which
Yeah.
will guarantee you the grade A environment.
Yeah.
They are pleats, like, they are made like this,
Yeah. Yes,
and you
exactly.
have separators in between. So imagine a trough like this,
Yeah.
and that acts like, air flows through that and
Correct.
goes down.
Correct.
So you have invisible layer of curtains.
Yes, right.
So you have multiple pleats, and through every pleat, the air is moving down.
Right.
So you get filtration and a parallel, a kind of invisible curtain.
Okay.
So assume that in this area,
Huh.
now you have a completely pure, filtered
Yes,
air,
air,
which
yeah.
is completely free from the particulate
Correct,
matters, including the microbes. And you have surrounding area. So in the surrounding area, you might have contamination. So it might cross, one curtain, but it may not be able to cross, hundreds of curtains and so on. So it works like that.
Okay.
So, and now this air flows like this, touches, your component's product, which is exposed, and then moves out
Okay.
smoothly in one direction.
Huh.
So that means it is continuously flushing
Yeah.
your, the materials which
Got
are at the maximum risk.
Correct.
So continuously flowing, touching and then moving out.
Yeah.
So that means as long as that air is flowing,
Correct.
I do not expect any contaminated thing to pass through.
Right.
So now, as long as that is happening,
Correct.
it is acceptable. But the moment, if operator enters his hand, for example,
Huh.
although he is donned in a complete sterile outfit,
Correct,
complete,
yes.
including the
With
sterile
the
gloves and
gown
so
and
on,
gloves and everything.
but
yeah.
still there could be chances
Okay.
of creating turbulence.
So it's all
on
about
that area. Yeah,
probability and interpretation.
absolutely. So it's as I already mentioned, that contamination is a probabilistic event.
Yeah, that's right.
So there are chances because now even if I am donned in completely sterile gowns and so on, but still I am continuously emitting a lot of particles.
Correct.
Certain particles can be even smaller than what my gown can protect, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So then there are chances that these particles, if generated, they might get into that area.
Wow.
As long as I am flushing it and no intervention is happening, it's okay.
Okay.
But the moment some intervention is happening, so chances of particulate contamination
Wow.
would increase.
It's a fascinating science, yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's fascinating
True,
science.
true,
Like,
true.
being an engineer, though I may not be a pharmacist or may not be a microbiology expert, but being an engineer, like when I'm like going through those diagrams and everything, engineering behind it, it's really fascinating.
Right, true. But look, um, now the most difficult product to make, a pharmaceutical product, is actually a tablet
Yeah.
from the technology point of view, because that tablet is compressed with lots of materials, including the active ingredient,
Right.
which will have its pharmacological activity.
Correct.
So that tablet has to go into the stomach, and within given period of time, it has to release the entire drug content, and which should be bioavailable for the pharmacological effect,
Correct.
right? So that's a great science actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes certain products, they are in our stomach, we have a pH of 1,
Yeah.
less than 1 pH, very highly acidic.
Correct.
Certain products can immediately degrade in
Right.
that condition. So you will have to protect that product until it gets into your
To
large
the target
intestine,
point. Yeah.
in your large intestine, and then it will be released. So that's very complex,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
extremely complex.
So that's what the
From the technology
excipient
point of
comes in
view,
picture.
yes. So then you will protect. You will have
Yeah,
acid
yeah.
protection layer onto
Correct.
that product, so that as long as it remains in the stomach, nothing
Correct,
happens to it.
correct.
The moment it gets into a basic environment, in that it will degrade and the product will be released into your product. So
I think
in the
extended
stomach, yeah.
release and all.
Extended release is a different technology and so
Yeah.
on. So
That
from,
is also very fascinating.
so from technology point of view,
Yeah.
manufacturing a tablet is extremely difficult.
Okay. Okay.
From the process technology point of view, but to make sterile product, sterile products are also complex
Yeah.
in nature, some of the products, but
Yeah.
most of the products are simple. You
Right.
dissolve the product, stabilize in that environment,
Correct.
and then filter
Correct.
and fill.
Correct.
So I believe, maybe more than 50% of the product are in this class.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the challenge here is to ensure its sterility.
Sterility.
And that is the most complex, kind
I
of
understand.
problem, I would say.
Correct.
To protect that product throughout the manufacturing process is the big challenge.
Right.
And that's fascinating. So, manufacturing point of view, process point of view, tablets are most difficult to make.
Right.
And from the manufacturing technology point of view, so injectables are most difficult to make.
Wow. Okay. Now I understood the
Yeah.
difference, like why injectables plants become so important.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And
that's
frankly, in India, we are still developing that part, right?
why.
As a market for injectable and these facilities.
Yes.
Are we that advanced compared to Europe? And
Yes, we
US?
are. We have one of the best facilities in the world. I mean, lots of facilities in India these days have, isolation technologies. They have adopted RABs, closed RABs, open RABs. Almost
Yeah,
every
yeah.
company has, and so on. So many companies have very good
And so
facilities.
that's where those are like, because of the engineering behind it, those are very expensive also.
Yes, that is the reason why they are expensive.
I feel we went too much in detail.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, like we have very short time. But
Yes.
let's talk more about your leadership aspects, because
Okay.
you also consider as one of the very stalwart leader in this area. So what are your leadership mantras?
Leadership mantra is, understand people.
I think you are great in that.
Understand them, and then
I have observed that.
identify where they are good and help them grow in that particular area.
Nice.
So if they are satisfied, so they would, they would do a good job.
But frankly, my personal question: how
Yes.
you read people?
Sorry, how?
How you read people? I have seen that you have that amazing skill to read person.
I don't know how, but when I talk with people, and somehow I get that gut feel that this guy seems good in this particular. Somehow I get that feel that this guy is good with people. This guy is good with technology. This
So
guy is
is
good
there any
with,
particular framework the way you have in sterility? You check everything.
No, there is no framework. It is only, people are the most difficult to understand, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes you need years to understand. I have still not understood my wife completely.
Is
So,
that possible?
No, I think
Really?
it's not possible.
I don't think it is possible. My wife will certainly listen to this.
So, so it's just talking to them and understanding their interests and whatever. So, so that's what is my mantra. And I don't know whether it was successful or not, but I've been always able to manage by doing this. Following this principle, following
But
this
that's a great
method.
skill, and I really love to learn being with you because there is a saying that when you surrounded by very intelligent and smart people, you adopt at least couple of percentage.
Absolutely, very true.
I
very
would
true.
love to be
Very true,
around
very
you.
true, very
for
true.
that.
You are always welcome. You are always welcome.
That's wonderful, sir. So you were talking about driver.
Yes.
I just wanted to take that point and I want to conclude this, but because I feel this podcast can go in multiple editions, multiple episodes.
Right.
But for today's podcast, maybe let's talk about that driver and then we can conclude.
Yeah, okay. So right from my college days itself, I am a life member of Adventure Sports Club in Nagpur. Nagpur Adventure
that so?
Sports
Really?
Club.
Okay.
So during my college days, we did lots of tours on motorbike.
Okay.
And
So you like bikes or cars?
I like cars.
Okay.
But that time we could not afford, car.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I had a bike when I was a student in college. So we did lots of tours. Like we went to Nepal by bike
From?
and from Nagpur
Nagpur to Nepal, really?
Yes.
Without using a train cargo?
No, nothing.
My
So,
goodness.
that was a
Yeah,
sponsored
yeah,
and
yeah.
organized,
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
program.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so, we
So
had a
I know
sponsor from
people does
Yamaha.
Ladakh and
Uh,
all. Yeah.
we had Yamaha RX 100 at that point in
Beautiful
time.
model. Yeah.
So we got sponsor from there, and then I did to Goa and lot many nearby places by bike and so on. So eventually, when I bought a car, that was Maruti 800. When I was in PharmaPlan,
Yeah.
so that was my first car,
Correct.
and I used to live in Gurgaon,
Delhi. Yeah. Gurgaon. Yeah.
in Delhi NCR region.
Yeah.
So I used to drive down to Nagpur from there.
From Delhi to Nagpur.
The
At that time, the road was also
roads
not that
were,
great.
I mean, there were no roads in
16
some
hours?
places.
16 hours? 18 hours?
We used to stop in between, and around 24 hours it
24
used to
hours.
take, at
Now
that
it
point in
is
time. Now
smooth
the
road,
roads are very
amazing,
nice
yeah.
and so on. So recently, last month, I did Mumbai to Jaipur.
So last month when you were in Jaipur,
Yes,
you were in a car?
yes,
Really?
yes. And my ambition is to drive from Mumbai to London and come back. I read somewhere about
Yeah.
those organized
People
tours and so
does
on.
that, yeah.
So that's my ambition. Someday I'll definitely do that.
Which car you are driving right now?
Now I have Audi A4.
A4?
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
but I had multiple, but okay, Audi A4 is very good car, but I like SUVs so that, you feel very safe in those cars.
But which is your favorite?
Particularly, my favorite is Defender. That's my dream car,
Nice,
right?
nice.
So that would be my next.
So
I
when are you
hope,
going to plan? I'm going to drive it.
definitely we can go together to London.
That's a good idea. I also
London.
have a passion for driving,
right.
but of course I don't go for that long tours yet.
Right.
Because I think when I do a Konkan trip, it's like 13-14 hours,
Okay.
or Bangalore sometime.
So Nagpur I always drive.
Yeah,
I
Mumbai
would
to
never take
Nagpur.
any train or
Now
flight.
with Samruddhi highway.
Yeah, now
it's
it is
like,
ultimate. So, but otherwise also when we had kind of one small road from, I think that is Dhulia. From Dhulia you have a very small road.
Correct, right.
But still I used to take I had Scorpio then, so
Okay.
used to
So you
drive
were
on
having
Scorpio.
SUV, and
yes,
Scorpio was a good one.
Yeah.
Perfect, sir. I think it's already like time. So I just wanted to go for 4 questions, rapid
Okay.
round, quick
Okay.
1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, ready for it?
The 1 minute means within 1 minute 4 questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll try to go fast.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
It's a rapid round.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you are a reader. So one book every leader must read.
One book.
What's your recommendation?
I am very weak with self assessment books and
It's
so
not.
on.
It should not be yourself. Anything.
Any book.
Yeah.
So the most interesting book I read recently, and that was by Novel Harari, Sapiens.
Sapiens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that book. I have not read it.
That's very interesting book.
It's interesting. It's a novel.
Interesting. It's actually it is originated from his thesis.
Yeah.
He is an anthropologist. From his thesis, PhD thesis, converted into a novel.
Okay.
Novel style, book. But very fascinating to understand how did, I mean, it is his theory.
Okay.
But very realistic.
Right.
How the humankind has evolved over a period of time
Got
and
it.
so on.
That's the
So
name. That's why
interesting.
name Sapiens.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Next question is a bit tricky. Your guilty pleasure.
My
Guilty pleasure.
guilty pleasure, sweets.
Why are you guilty about it?
Look at me.
Which one?
Any kind of sweet.
Oh, really? You really like it?
Yeah.
So yesterday you liked akrod halwa? Have you tried that?
But I try to avoid these days because
Maybe 1 spoon?
no, nothing. I am trying to control my,
It's
kind
difficult,
of,
yeah.
yeah. But I tried something. I think What did I eat yesterday?
Yesterday there was a akhroad halwa which was specially made by a chef for us. It was beautiful.
For our lunch, right?
Yeah.
So
it
in
is-
lunch, I
lunch,
didn't
yeah.
have any sweet.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay, next time when we will be there,
Yes,
I will
yes.
ask them. To
But
prepare for you.
yesterday, when we went to that restaurant, so
yeah.
I had gajar ka halwa there.
Gotcha. Okay. A leadership myth you want to break?
Leadership myth. Anybody can be leader.
Is a myth?
No, I mean
Okay.
that is a myth. I think So people think like only few people can become leader.
Okay.
But I think everybody can become leader
Yeah.
in their own way.
Correct.
And so on. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
The best advice you ever received?
Best advice I have received from my mentor. Like, he told me that, sometimes you have to be diplomatic.
Okay. Are you? I don't.
No, I
haven't
am
seen
not
you.
actually. And
I
that's why
haven't
he
seen
said, sometimes it is good to be
A diplomatic.
a little bit diplomatic,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you be doing if not a pharmacist?
I
ST
would have
driver?
been a driver.
ST driver? One word that describes you.
And word that describes me, happy person.
Oh, that's nice. Wonderful. Manish, I think it was really wonderful talking to you. Having known, I think we went too much into engineering part for
right,
sure.
right.
But I think the last rapid round was really fun.
Good, okay.
So great to have your insights, and thanks a lot for sharing your wisdom, your leadership mantras with us. It was really a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And it was a pleasure for me also to become part of this kind of discussion. I believe this is something which I was hearing for so long, but never had experienced.
But you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I really did. I really did.
Surely, I think we should do multiple episodes on various
Sure,
different
definitely.
aspects.
On different topics, maybe
Different topics,
some,
yeah.
some
I would
technical
love
or
to
whatever
do
it is, right?
No, I would certainly love to work on ST driver. I also wanted to work out on the your experiences in factory on floor, which in morning we were discussing.
Yes,
the way you handle union
Definitely.
leaders and everything.
Definitely.
So, but I think for let's say next time for sure we should do that.
Absolutely.
Great. Once again, thanks a lot,
Right.
sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.